Hi friends! In today's video, I am going to share with you how I find images for all of my repurposing and crafting projects. In the first segment, I'm going to show you the old-fashioned way, and that is sourcing these items yourself. I love finding images in pre-1923 old books and old advertisements, magazines. So let me show you some of my collection and how you can use these images. So let me bring in the overhead camera. I have a confession to make. I am a old book hoarder. I love old books, old pages of things, sheet music, hymnals. So let me show you how I got started with this first. I used to have a business where I made dictionary page art prints. I sold a ton of these on Etsy years ago. And I just took old dictionaries that were falling apart. I'm sure you've seen these. But isn't that pretty? The dandelion with the bees. This was one of my favorites, the chandelier. All of these images I scanned using my printer scanner, and then I would just print them right onto the dictionary pages. But look how pretty this one is. Look at the color. So these are the types of images that I'm talking about. So I look for old books, like this is called Beautiful Gems. And it's kind of rough, but so beautiful. And I'm not sure when this was published, but it was dated 1903. It says, "To my dearest friend Helen Maynard from Jack Fisher." And look at some of these images. Wouldn't these be great to print off and put in a fabric journal? They are just amazing. And just all kinds of beautiful images. And I like these because you could trim around. So that's that. Hymnals. You could take your favorite hymnal, pick out your favorite hymn, and print it off and print onto that. Or you could print this onto fabric, which I will show you at the end of the video how I do that. But these are a great source. I have about 25 old hymnals. Maps. I also, back in the day, I'll try to throw a picture up here, but back in the day I used to make map art prints for people. And this map is of Wyoming, and it's dated, if I can find the date on here, 1909. So it would be in the public domain, so I could use this freely. But yeah, so colorful, isn't it? These would make great gifts for someone who, let's say they're from Wyoming or from whatever state. The Montana one is really pretty. They're all so pretty. But these would make great gifts. You could scan this in and print it off or send it off to be printed. At one time I had a large format printer. I no longer have that printer. I pared down to just a simple 8.5 by 14 or 11 printer because I no longer do these art prints. But you could just scan into the area where that person was from and put a heart on it or put a star and frame it. So map images, sometimes you find these. I found this atlas like this at a garage sale, I think it was. And that's how I found all of mine. I think I have 50 plus atlases because I used to do this as a business. And then back to the dictionary pages, I found this old dictionary. And I probably have the same amount, probably 50 dictionaries. So I can make prints for life. But yeah, these have no images on, so you could print right onto this. This is where most of my images came from. They're black and white images, but this is the Century Dictionary, and I believe there are 18 volumes, but it's got some leather on it, so these I would never rip apart or anything. These are my pride and joy. I have 2 other sets of dictionaries similar to these, but the Century Dictionary, this one is my favorite. And this one was published in 1889. But guys, all you have to do is flip open. And this is called an Adex, and I'm sure I'm not saying it right, of Eastern Africa. See that? You could scan this in and then enlarge it and trim it out and use in your projects. So any type of image you're looking for, and you would have a true vintage image. Look at this turtle guy. So anything that you can imagine, these did have some pages out. Birds, strawberry tree, and you could even scan in some of the words for your projects. A bank swallow. There's birds, there's plants. Just a ton of images that you could use. Bugs. You could make greeting cards. Yeah, the pages are coming apart. Here's a cactus wren. But you get the idea. So you're just looking for these old sets of dictionaries. I found this set at an old hardware store that turned into an antique store in Zanesville, Ohio. And they were like in a box and it wasn't even open. And of course I had to look in it. And I found these and I just had to have them. I had to bring them home. Sheet music. I probably have, let me see, 2 boxes of sheet music. But look how pretty this is. And this one, So, and there's so much you can do with these. You could scan this in and you've got an image for a project. Come on to my house. And I love the fonts on this. Now this one, it's a book, and I would not have a problem with ripping the pages out of here if I needed to. This was from, I don't know if they'll give a date or not, but I try not to. I try to scan most of my items and then just print them so that I always have something, but fine and dandy. So that's an idea. But the sheet music, I love the sheet music because of the images. Primrose Waltz, look at that font. Here's where I printed on this one. So I must have been going to use that for a project. She is more to be pitied than censured. Just all kinds of images. Under the Willows. Now this is pretty taped up. Okay, so you get the idea on the sheet music. If you find a pile of sheet music, you should grab it if it's cheap, because you never know what images you can use in your projects for that. And nowadays, most phones, you can just take a picture and upload it to, say, like Canva, and you could enhance it and resize it to what you need. How about this one? The Cycling Club, March and Two-Step. Sierra Sue. And Precious Little Thing Called Love. Yes, so many wonderful images. Sunbonnet Sally and Overall Jim. I like that one. All right, so let's put these away. And then I wanted to show you, I've always held on to this. I think someone wrote this. It must have been in a pile of things that I picked up at a sale. All the things you are. And it's all handwritten. So someone wrote this for somebody, and there's words. So I always keep this on the top because I just think that is so amazing. And they used old paper with music lines. And then this one is Faithful Forever. So I just kept this. I think this is very precious. Let's see what's in this pile. Guys, I just have too much. This pile is probably, I kept these for advertising, I think. So if you need advertising images, this one is the Review of Reviews. So a lot of those magazines had advertising throughout. And look at that. So I always kept those. There's the Rogers spoons, forks, and knives. And then these other ones I kept because there's the Liberty Bell. You just never know what's in these things that you might need. Let's see what else is in here and why I kept them. We don't know. I don't see any advertising in there. Yes, here's some. Study law at home. Okay. So you get the point on that. Here's some more. So yeah, I think I just kept these for the advertisements. But you can use these in your work. So much fun. Shakespeare on varnish. And then here's a few more. Yes, I must have kept these for advertisements. But how fun is that? Baby Cleveland Nightlight. Kirk's Juvenile Toilet Soap. I love the old advertisements, don't you? Okay, so anyway, and then bicycles. That's what this pile is for. I just kept them because the advertisements were in there. So we'll put those back. And I don't know the years. Let me see if there's a year on any of these things. I don't see a year on. The separate copies or the bound volumes for $18.92 can still be obtained. So I'll say the late 1800s. So those all go in here. I think this is my last pile before we go on to the second part of the video. I think these are more sheet music, and these are little ones that I could print on. Yes. So just more paper. This one I believe I was just going to use to print on. So that is that. Next, I'm going to take you to the computer and I'm going to show you 12 places you can find vintage images for your arts and crafts. So let's head to the computer. Let's get started. The first website I want to show you is the New York Public Library Digital Collections. There is a ton of material here. The first thing to do is to type in the keyword that you're looking for. I normally look for old barns, old churches, botanicals, animals. So let's get started searching. Let's type in old barn. you'll want to be sure to check the box that says search only public domain materials. And then click on search. It will take you to the next page, and right off the bat, the very first thing I see is this old postcard. I really like that. If you scroll down, it will give you all the details for that item. It will also give you other items from that series. The most important part is the rights statement. It says the New York Public Library believes that this item is in the public domain under the laws of the United States. If you wanted to download the item, it has download options, and it does tell you free to use without restrictions. So you could click on original. That will give you the actual scan as it is on their website. I like to click the original, download it, then I can pull it into my editing software, edit as I need to, crop out as I need to. But the choice is yours. If you just wanted a small one, you could definitely download these other options. That is the New York Public Library's digital collections. The next website I want to show you is oldbookillustrations.com. It's categorized by artist, subjects, and titles. If you scroll down, you could click on animals. Click on the specific animal that you want to look at. Again, it will give you all the details of this specific item, but look how pretty that is. And it says on this side, where is this illustration likely to be in the public domain? And it does say in the US, right here. It also offers you different resolutions depending on what you're going to use it for. The next website is the Biodiversity Heritage Library. So many nice items here. I wanted to find an image of a hummingbird. You'll just come to the main website, make sure you're on Photo Stream. Click on search, enter hummingbird, and enter. And you will have an abundance of photos of hummingbirds. I really like this one. And you can click on it and zoom in to see if you like it. It also gives you options of downloading. It will give you the license history, so you'll want to check that. And the download option is this arrow. And it will let you know you can download a square one, a small, all the way up to the original size. Now, if we go back, I want to see what they have for cows. So if I click search or enter, there we go. Lots of options. I really like this one. It looks really primitive. Look how pretty that is. And it's called the Alderney breed. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. So lots of great things here. I believe if I type in seeds on this one, you can get, look at this image of the peas. I can only imagine the crafts you could use this in. And this says that it was 25 cents for a half pint by mail. But look how pretty that is. The next website is the Smithsonian Open Access, and it says you can download, share, and reuse millions of the Smithsonian's images right now without asking. Let's see what we can find. Click on Just Browsing. Enter your search term. Let's type in old barn. And make sure that the box is checked Open Access Media. Click Search. And I'm seeing plants. I see this one. It says My Old Mill, Holmescroft near Rockville. And it looks like an old painting. And it says that it's a watercolor. Restrictions are CCO, which means you can use it. And then there is the download button. Let's see what else we can find. Here's one that says October Morning. And that is very pretty. So you could even get some paintings here. I see lots of plants. I think you have to be very specific. Let's type in Old Country Church and enter. And it does run kind of slow. There we go. Let's see what we can find. Ooh, I really like this one. It says Herkimer. Very pretty. And it is an ink wash, and it is free to download. There are just all kinds of items here. But again, I think you have to be very specific. I haven't played around with this one too much, but I will. Here's another old church. Looks like it's a painting. It's very pretty. From 1906 to 1907. The next website is the Library of Congress. It's the Prints and Photographs online catalog. There are a ton of things here, but what stood out to me most was, let me see if I can find it again, Popular Graphic Arts. And I just clicked on View All to see what was in there. And I noticed some things like a picture of William J. Graves of Kentucky. So there's a lot of headshots in here. And I found some what would be primitive photos. How pretty would this be framed? What else do we have here? I thought that this one was really pretty. Eliza Jane. Let's see if anything else stands out here. How about this one, Emily? So you could download all of these ones and put them on some postcards. And here are the ways to download. And then it has about this item, so you could click on that. And this was a Currier and Ives. The next website is the National Gallery of Art. They have a ton of art pieces on here. I'm going to search for country landscape. We'll see what we can find. Ooh, this one was really pretty, and it's called After the Rain, and it's from 1850. We'll click on that. It's an oil on canvas. And it does say this image is in the public domain. And here is the download button, and it lets you download the JPEG right away. And right there it does tell you that it is in the public domain. So how pretty is that? And you can zoom in. That is really pretty, and it's very primitive. The next website is the Met. It says you can travel around the world and across 5,000 years of history through 490,000 plus works of art. Let's scroll down and click on Public Domain Images. Before you search, you want to make sure that Open Access is checked. And what that means is you can freely copy, modify, and distribute this image even for commercial purposes. I'm going to type in landscape and search and see what we find. Oh, right away I found something that I really like, and that is really pretty. And I'm trying to see on here. Yep, it says public domain. And here is the download button. And look how pretty that is. And this one is by Ralph Albert Blakelock from 1885 to 95. I did a quick search for advertising on the Met, and I scrolled down, and I thought this was very interesting. Advertisement for Cerny's Photographic Studies. Look at that dress. I really like this. So that would be fun to use in a project as well. And this is from 1866. The next website is the USDA Pomological Watercolors. There are 7,497 watercolor paintings, 87 line drawings, and 79 wax models created by approximately 21 artists. And these are fruits. So if you're someone that needs this for your artwork, I'll try to click on one. It is a slow website, so be patient. And you just have to load more as you want. There is a search. Let's search for peach. There we go. And then it says view online. And there it is. This is from 1913, so these will be fun to use in your projects. This next one is one of my favorites. It is the John J. Audubon's Birds of America. Please keep in mind that you can only use these for personal use. It does say on the website, please consult our terms of use before downloading, and please credit the plates as follows, and it tells you how to do that credit. Let's do a search for Cardinal. It's one of my favorites, and it's plate 159, and look how pretty that is. And then you can see the full plate, or you can download the high resolution file. However, you do need to sign up for their newsletter before downloading those files. But these would be great for any of your personal bird projects. The next one will be for all of you botanical lovers out there. This is from the openlibrary.org, and it's the Ladies Flower Garden of Ornamental Bulbous Plants. It's by Jane C. Webb Loudon. Over on the left-hand side, there are download options. There is a PDF, so I'll download the PDF. Click on that. It will open up Adobe Reader, and it may take a moment. And look how pretty that is. That way you can download it to your own PC. But so many pretty photos in here of flowers, and it already has the aged look, so you wouldn't even have to coffee stain or tea stain any of these pages. They are perfect the way they are, and it does take a little bit. There's another one, and I just love the old writing. The next website will be a fun one for those who love old atlases. I already showed you how I use maps in my art. This is the USGS Historical Topographic Map Explorer. And you can bring up any place. I'm going to type in where I was raised. So I'm going to type in Philo, Ohio. Click on that. It will bring up the map of my city. But what's fun is, if I click on it, it will give me a timeline of that map. So you have to click on the map, and then down here it says 1910. So I want to see that map of my city in 1910, and I'll just click on that. And there it is. And how neat is that? My town used to be called Taylorsville. And you can move it around. But what's fun is you can download that map. So that would be really fun as a gift as well. If you don't have any atlases, you can use this website to do it. I believe you do need to get an online account for that, but I believe the online account is free. But they have other years as well. Here's one from 1960. So let's click on that. And that's a little different color, but you could always do an overlay to get a different color. I'm going to show you how I made a frame out of lathwood for my primitive prints. It's so easy. I just found a piece of paper that's 8 by 10. This is my matte presentation paper. So I'm building around this. So my sides of my lathwood will be the tallest side up. For example, for the outside. So this is 3/4. This is 1 inch. So I want the 1 inch on my sides to be up. These 3, which will hold the print as such, will be down. So these will be the 3/4, and they will lay flat, if you will. And all that's going to happen is we're just going to put it together as such. Just like that. You can see that. I will glue everything up, all the joints. Use a nail gun to put everything together. Stain it. I'm going to stain it black and then come in and do some brown edges to give it that perfect primitive look. And see how the print will just lay in there. Just like that. So what's nice about this type of frame is if you get tired of this, depending on how you put it in there, you can just take it out and replace it. I just want to show you real quick, I did use my clamps to secure everything before I hit it with the nail gun. And here is what it looks like put together. And if I had an 8x10 print, it would go right in here. It might be a tight fit. You might have to trim because these are reclaimed boards. And what's nice is because they are 1 inch at the top or whatever the widest part is, if you just want to set it on a mantle, you could. Or you can put a hanger on the back, and here's what the back looks like. Let me get this stained. Here it is all stained, and I'm just going to go around the edges with some burnt umber. I just put some on my finger. This is such a rustic look and so easy to put together. A little bit on the inside. It's just to give it like a two-tone effect. And that's all I'm going to do to this frame. I like it just as it is. We'll let that dry and it'll be ready for one of our prints. I found this in my stash. I think I'll stain it up. It's a piece from an old farm tool, and I could add it to the top of my frame like that. So I think I'll get that stained up. I'll add a screw in here. I really like that. Okay, real quick guys, I know this video has gone long. I wanted to show you how I print on fabric. You just take any fabric. I cut out a piece that's 8.5 by 11 because I have pre-cut freezer paper that I use. You can get it on Amazon. I got this years ago. You can kind of see it's yellowing, but you can also reuse it. So it's better for me that I don't have to cut it off of the roll because it's all rolled up and then it won't get stuck in my printer. So I'm simply going to lay this on here, line it up the best you can, and you're going to iron it onto the shiny side. Just like that. I'm going to print a sheet that I already have ready for you. But just make sure it's all over that sheet so that the printer will carry it through. Get all the corners really good. And trim off any excess that you see. Like I'm going to trim off this edge because I don't want that to get caught in my printer. And I just have a regular old Epson printer. Cut down here. There, nothing will get caught up in the printer. One more press. And I'll try to show you how I put it in the printer. We'll see if this works. And I'm simply going to put this with the, it depends on your printer, but I'm putting mine fabric side into the printer. Just like this. And then on my computer, I will bring up the sheet that I want to print. I think I will do page 2. And I just sent it to the printer. And I didn't use any special settings, just regular plain paper. And there we have it. I did mess up. I forgot to turn off mirror on this, but I can still use the bunny. But you can see how clear they come out. Look at that cute little sheep. And then to use these, I just pull it right off of the freezer paper. I'm going to put the freezer paper back so I can use it again. I just use it till I can no longer use it. And then I do heat set with my iron. But that is how easy it is. And there you have it. You can cut these out and use them anytime you need them. There you have it. Lots and lots of places to find vintage images that are in the public domain that you can use in your crafting, your repurposing. Just let your imagination run wild. Here is my newly built frame, and I did add that garden handle on there, and I think it turned out so cute. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and until the next video, God bless. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell so that you never miss a video. And if you're returning, thank you so much. And if you have found value in this video, please like and comment.